So I initially got into photography when I was 14. Went on a road trip with my dad out to LA where my grandma lived, and I brought his old Canon AE1 and a bunch of film and just kind of fell in love with taking pictures of birds and sunsets and palm trees and all of that. I really wanted to be a ski photographer, and I was fortunate enough at that time to have a handful of friends who were pro skiers that were constantly coming through town during the winters to shoot with them, and then was doing the wedding and seniors and all of that for a little while. And in about 2010, I was having a few beers with a friend who's a commercial DP in town, and I was talking to him and told him that I really liked what he was doing. I thought commercial work was so interesting. So that was the night I decided that I was done with weddings and seniors and tried to get my foot into the door assisting and working in the commercial world. That winter I met one of the former studio managers of a photographer in Minneapolis, and she kind of took me under her wing and introduced me to a bunch of producers and stylists to help me create a body of work that was commercially viable. I would be at portfolio showings at agencies, and they'd be checking out my book, and they'd always ask the question of, do you shoot motion? And I always had this kind of half-baked answer of, well, I can, but I don't have anything to show. So after probably a year of giving that lame excuse, I finally buckled down and started shooting personal projects, still and motion at the same time. Depending on a client's budget, sometimes it's me shooting still and motion, so I'll be switching between a stills body and a motion camera. And so with that, we definitely have to educate the client in letting them know it's going to take longer per scene, because we're gonna have to run through every scenario, 3 times, 4 times with each camera. The other scenario is when we bring in a DP who will be shooting alongside of me. So I'll be shooting stills and maybe a little bit of motion, but he'll be there capturing motion the whole time. I have to be conscious of what I'm shooting as well as directing the DP to make sure that our images look seamless. One of the other changes in mindset when shooting motion is definitely thinking of a sequence of images versus standalone stills. So you need to think about how actions play and camera movements will interact throughout an edit. I have a new kid coming on the way in the end of May, so I know that a little bit of time is going to be taken away from shooting personal so that I can be home with my family. So that's really a driving force right now for me to create more personal work outside of my home state and trying to find unique stories to tell in those locations.